right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Enlightened Conversations. Really excited for today and to introduce you guys to today's guest. We've been chatting for a little bit and setting this up. I met him through just Instagram and saw immediately the love and light that he was sharing with his audience, and just knew how much he enjoyed inspiring people and uplifting people. And when I messaged him, he was on board to have this conversation with me, and I'm excited to do so. We have Benjamin Dunlow, who is an actor and an entrepreneur and a muse and just an awesome overall guy. And I've just seen the love and light that he shares, and we're going to flow a fun conversation with you guys today. So without further ado from me, I want to introduce you guys to Benjamin. And Ben, if you could share with the audience so they're more familiar with you, for the ones that don't already know, just who you are, what you do, why you do it, all that good stuff.
I just love seeing people inspired, and I love seeing people motivated and going, after their goals in life and whatever their purpose is. And I just enjoy inspiring people each and every day. So basically that's what we do. We love inspiring people through our clothing, through other brands, through collaborations, through, influencer work, through, this type of stuff that we're doing now. That's just what we try to do, is inspire people to find their purpose, find their goals, to get to their goals and dreams in life.
I love that. And I'm always curious for people, like, when, because it's obvious that, through your life, you become aware of some things. What part of the world are you in right now? Are you in LA or where are you?
I'm in my I call it my hangar. But it's in I'm in North Lima, Ohio, outside of Youngstown.
Okay. Perfect. So
between Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
I got you. I used to spend a lot of time in Ohio, business stuff years ago. It's cold there this time of year, but really cool people.
Man, snowing.
Yeah, really cool people that are up there though. Actually, I stopped complaining about, I was a baby as far as temperature before I spent some time there. And then I realized that if I could just, wear the clothing I needed, nowhere else that I go on the planet, that might be too extreme, but nowhere else in the United States would I be like more cold, except for maybe like Chicago with their winds. I've been colder there. Whew. Yeah, that's a different type of cold.
Yes.
But what I'm fascinated about, what I'm curious with you is, as you were coming up, did you always know, you wanted to take this path as far as, helping people, or, when did the light bulb kind of turn on for you to where you're like, okay, I've seen some things in my life that have, benefited me. And now I want to share these things with other people. How did that work for you?
When I was young, I was starting to figure it out, like probably around like sixth grade. I just heard a song and I resonated with that song. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I love being involved in business and love, like I said, being involved in business. But then it really didn't hit home till 2014. And I mentioned before that, I don't know if you heard it on my page. You probably, I know you're busy too. So we all busy, what I'm saying? We all got our things going on. So, but I started in 2014, the end of like December. I started preparing for my personal training certification. And I knew I wanted to come back to school with my own business. And I go back to school and, I don't know, did you go to college? I'm not sure. Did you?
Yep. Only because they told me I had to take classes to play baseball. I was a baseball player.
So you know what I'm talking about. You come back from winter break to spring break or spring semester. I was in senior sim class, and the whole everybody was saying what they were doing, and they were all saying I had big internships here, I had big internships at this firm or whatever, blah blah blah. And I was like, man, dang! I started a business with my dad and my uncle, which was a lie, by the way. It was a lie. I was just nervous to say I started my own business, but I didn't want to feel like that I was what I was doing wasn't common. Everybody was still working, doing their own thing. The old way. I was like on a new wave, which a lot of people are starting to do today. But I was like one of the first ones to probably ever do branding, acting, doing music, I'm not saying I was the only one to do it, but the only one that I was the only one in my area, like in my area, to do that. Like to actually do it at the level I did it. So that's how it started around 2014, 2015.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No, it's I always love, and I root for everybody, and I love when people take something that is a passion for them, and for some reason have the just have the confidence that they can move towards their goals and dreams, and because there wasn't really anybody else in the area doing it, I know that for sure the belief had to come from inside of you, because and hopefully you had some people that were encouraging, that were in your life, but I'm sure a lot of people were like, because they had never seen it. So when people haven't seen something, it's hard for most people to believe, which is such an important part of life, like being able to believe something for ourselves before we actually see physical evidence of it showing up in the outside world is really one of the biggest keys, if not the biggest key to manifesting anything. So what did that look like for you? Did you have people that were in your corner, cheering you on, or was it totally your thing?
I mean, at the beginning, I mean, of course, you don't have my mom and my dad and my family. They're gonna support whatever. They flowed with me, you know what I mean. But and the people that was surrounded in my life, they're not even here no more. That was with me at the beginning. I'm not saying that they're not with me, but everyone went this way, So I did have some people that helped me, that's not here or that no longer work with us. But I had some people that helped. I had a lot of great friends at the time that helped me, whether it was recording or, help me ship off some items, help invest some money to the product, or I had some people that helped. So I really appreciate, everyone that helped.
Awesome. Awesome. So now right here at the time of this recording, we're just starting 2020. And no, you just had a new baby, which is, I'm sure, part of the answer to this question. But I'm curious. Congratulations on the new little one.
Thank you.
And my question is, what are you excited about this year? Like, what are you working on? What's got you excited here for 2020 and beyond?
Once again, thank you for saying what you just said about my daughter. That's my everything, number one. That's like one of the things like that you never know until you have one. What it is. People always said that to me. You won't know till you have your child what it feels like. So I understand now that like that's what I think about all day. So other than that, with our company, I want to, we want to expand it more internationally. We got some, clients and some potential business overseas that we're really, excited about. So also just going on tour. That's the next thing that we're planning on. Going on tour, going to different cities, and interacting with people of like-minded, similar people like you, people like us, the same community that you're in. We have similar, vibes with that. Me and you do. Also, we want to get our brand together with our clothes. If you can see what it looks like in here, it's clothes everywhere. Like it's clothes everywhere. I got the machines over here. We got stuff out there. So we just want to get that all together. We really want to make sure that everyone knows that our business is about inspiration and storytelling. And of course that we keep evolving each and every day. You grow every day in life. I just noticed that you grow each and every day. Just like I seen your business grow too from a couple months ago. I seen your business grow because you were posting like, each day you're posting something. And then your following grew with that. I study everything, bro. But your following grew from that. I noticed your following grew a lot these last few months. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I see that you're growing, so we just want to continue to grow over here as well. So whether that's through apparel or whether that's through our films or whether that's through books or, collaborations, we're always looking for great people to collaborate with. And in college, I built the business on these three things. You need to market your product, you need to collaborate with other people, and you need to network with people. Those are three things that I built my business on: is marketing, collaboration, and networking. And that's the same thing we're going to continue to do. That's like our formula, not our formula, but that's our stigma. Like, we need to collaborate with like-minded, sort of like me and you. We need to market to people that want to hear our information, and we want to network with people that that want to change the world. So if you're about that, that's what we're about in 2020.
That's awesome. I love that description, and I appreciate you saying that as far as just as encouragement for what I've been doing. And for me, it's just been having these conversations like this, or ones that I would want to have, anyway. And I'm just thankful that we have the technology to record it and share it. And if we can say something on this episode, which I'm sure that people have already been inspired by the things that you shared, if we could share it and it helps one person, for me, it's all worth it. And so, yeah, I'm just having more and more and more of these conversations, and 7.7 billion of us on the planet. So, we never stop experiencing life, whether it be in the form of conversation or just, I love what you just described, just learning along the way. And, from the life experiences that we all have, we learn more and more and more. And that's giving you the focus as far as the marketing and the collaboration and the networking. It's awesome, because the more all of us, live life and experience things, we'll experience things in 2020, all of us, that we're like, ooh, that's just challenging. I don't know if I want to experience more of that. And then we'll be able to have new clarity as far as, okay, I want to move in this direction, because that experience taught me this, and now I can go and, keep pushing my energy, in that way. So that's awesome. I love how you just described that, for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So my question for you is, because it's definitely obvious just with the things that you post and how you speak and the things that you're doing, that you've become aware of some things, whether it be spiritually or just things that you've become aware of that have helped you in your life over the years, and with everything you're doing in business and everything. Anything that you want to share with the audience, no matter what it is, what subject, it could be anything that you feel would make an impact on them whenever they hear this episode.
Right. A lot of people come to me and ask me how to do this, how to be this, how to do that. I'm sure you get it too. How do you start a podcast, or how do you start a film, or how do you become an actor, or whatever, it is. My advice to them is to do what you love to do. And if you do what you love to do, like I said with you, I mentioned with you, you do these videos, you have some other things you do as well. But the main thing you like to do is have these conversations, having great things going on, and you spread that light and that inspiration to people in that God have you touch, and like, because you got a big audience that God has you using, and you spreading positivity on your page, you spreading smiling, you always smiling, everyone always, it's a good time, you know what I'm saying? So I try to tell people, just do what they love to do. If you want to be successful, you got to find the right deals. You got to know your business. You got to know, exactly what you want to do. You got to know exactly what it costs to get into it. Exactly what the percentage is. You need to know the details. You need to know the story. You need to know if the product is good. Is the product that you're trying to do, has it been done before? Or are you taking a product that's been done and changing it? You know what I mean? So you got to ask bigger questions. And I study a guy named Michael Bernard Beckwith. You know who he is?
One of my favorites. Absolutely. That's so funny. That's so synchronistic. You just said that. I'm gonna tell you why, and then you continue. I'm not gonna go long, but literally last night while I was going to sleep, I was actually I was on Instagram. I posted something really quick, and then he was being interviewed by Peter Crone or something. It was just a quick little blurb, like 10, 15 seconds, and then I was like, Michael Beckwith or he was interviewing. So I was like, Michael Beckwith has a podcast. So I just searched for Michael Beckwith in the podcast. This was last night. And I couldn't find a podcast by him, but then I saw an episode. He was a guest with Oprah on a Super Soul Sunday. This was from 2017. Woo! You're out there.
I just had that on my phone. I just listened to that today.
I have it on my phone, right? Oh, I'm doing Instagram. See, this is how cool synchronicities are. This is how I went to sleep last night. Wow, that's crazy. That's awesome. That's awesome.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And what I learned from him, man, he said, you got to ask bigger questions, empowering questions. You got to ask, what needs to emerge inside of me? What do I need for this business to grow? Or what's the quality I need to emerge in my business? So I learned a lot from that man right there, man. Oh my goodness. He taught me so much. And one thing else I want to just touch bases with him is that he said this quote that I'll always use. He says, water and gasoline, it was in that podcast. He said, water and gasoline are two different substances. So you can only commune with things that you're similar to. You know what I mean? So that's something that resonated with me, man. And, you know, you got to resonate with your business. You got to resonate with the collaborations that you do. You gotta be able to connect with them, or it's not going to work. That's something I will share with your followers and listeners as well.
I love that. Since you just mentioned that, and we just went to this route, I have something that just popped into my mind that I have to also share from this podcast episode.
I
wouldn't have shared this if you wouldn't have went this route, and it's awesome. I'm happy that you did. So now this can come out. The first thing, I love what Ben just said when he mentioned just encouragement for everybody out there listening to, you know, do what you love, to do the things, to really ask yourself the question, you know, what do I enjoy doing the most? And, you know, letting that drive you as far as going in the direction and asking those powerful questions, which are, you know, rewind and listen to that. That was a lot of great advice as far as how to ask, you know, powerful questions. And then as you receive the answers, you know, it gives you momentum and you can start moving life towards the direction that you want to go. And I'm encouraged, I'm inspired to say, and then I'm going to share what I heard just last night on this podcast that I'm inspired to share with you guys. You know, when we get excited about going in a direction, whatever, you know, we ask ourselves that question, what am I most excited to do in life? The good news for all of us is the same energy that, you know, Ben has, that he flows into everything he's doing, entrepreneurship and acting and everything that he does. Same energy that I'm flowing into these conversations, you know, the passion for connecting with people and all the things that we're talking about. Every single person out there, we all have that same energy, you know, non-physical energy, call it God, the universe, you know, source energy, you know, whatever you want to call it, flowing to and through all of us. And that's who all of us truly are. And so when you get clear on the things that you're doing in life and where the direction that you want to go, you still have the same energy that you're feeling from Ben, that you feel from me, that you feel from anyone, flowing through you. So that just makes that creation so powerful, because it's not just you, you know, out on this, you know, this physical world, you know, by yourself thinking, you know, am I powerful enough to do this thing, to create this thing? You know, all that manifesting is where our attention goes. That's where energy flows. And you flow energy at anything long enough, whether it be something that you want to create or something that you don't want to create, you know, flow enough attention and energy at, you know, problems and challenges and, you know, worries and regrets and, you know, being angry and frustrated. You can manifest things that you don't want, like physical illness and, you know, just different things that can come in all of our lives. So just good to be aware of, and you can be confident knowing that you can still flow the same energy that we're talking about. Every single person is who we really are. And so what you just inspired me with Reverend Beck with, because right now you might be out there and you might not be clear on the direction that you want to go. And, you know, you might have experiencing some challenges right now. What he said on that podcast, he says the pain, which we've all had pain, you know, in different forms, you know, whether it be physical pain or emotional pain or, you know, just the challenges of life. But he said the pain will push us until the vision pulls us. And he said the pain will push us in life until the vision of where we want to go pulls us. And that's just what Ben just said, as far as really getting clear on what you want to do. And maybe you might not know. So maybe you might experience some more life, might be some more challenges. But the good news for challenges is, like we mentioned earlier, it does give you that clarity as far as things you like, things you don't like about that. And then it helps propel you to where you do have that vision. Now it can pull you to where you want to go. And life is so much fun when you have a vision pulling you and let that energy, you know, take you. It doesn't feel like work. It's just something that you're excited to do. So that's awesome, man.
So true.
That's so cool. First time I've had a conversation with someone on this podcast, and we both listened to the same podcast. Because the search, like I just kind of was just on a search. Like I have no intention to listen to that. It's just, that's cool. Cool synchronicity.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's a great example out there also, guys, that, you know, if you're just open to receiving, you know, whatever the universe has to share with you that can help you on your journey. Because, you know, there was several things in there that, like, for instance, I'll share one more thing from there. Just the acronym, like what he mentions, help. Like I need help. Like for him, help is, I got to go on the thing and then get the actual, it'll come to me. It says, hello, eternal, loving presence.
Living
Hello, yeah,
presence.
yeah. Hello, eternal living presence. Or that could be living or loving. It's one of those two, but hello,
You got it
eternal
right.
loving presence. And that's what help is to him. Just, if you have questions in your life, you need help in any area, just being, open to receiving the answer, knowing that it's going to come to you when you're at least at peace. You don't have to know the answer to all of life's questions right here and now. But when you're ready to receive the answer that you need to propel you to the direction that you need to go right here and now, you'll receive the answer when you're ready for it. And I love that so much. So we could talk about that podcast for a minute.
All day.
Yeah, that's
All day.
that's awesome. Well, no, and I'm excited that the audience, if they didn't know you already, is being introduced to you, and it's fun connecting with you here like this because and I look forward to any future collaborations or anything that you have going on. I get so excited when I know that people, because there's 7.7 billion of us, and once we know that someone exists and you feel the powerful energy that they're living life with, it's fun to root for them and to see what they choose to create, next. And whether you're participating or just sending people that way, like, hey, you got to go check out this person. We can all, and you mentioned collaboration, like that's such a big part of my life too. Obviously, I mean, it didn't sound fun creating a podcast and just me talking about myself. I'm like, some people do that and it's cool.
It gets boring.
They share value, but for me, it's more fun to actually, to have things like, I don't have to plan out too much stuff, and I don't do too much digging around and trying to get questions pre in advance, because I want to be able to flow and all of a sudden see a synchronicity like we just had and be able to flow wherever it goes from there. So you just highlighted all those things. That's awesome.
I love Michael Bernard Beckwith, man. I love that guy, man. When I tell you, bro, like, if it wasn't for him, you know what I mean? Like, coming in and sharing his, he's so loving and peaceful too. Very peaceful and soft, and but he can get loud too.
Mm-hmm. I didn't take advantage of, and I look forward to going back to next time I go to LA, I'm going to go to Agape. I didn't take advantage of going to his spiritual teacher. He has a spiritual center for the audience called Agape, which just means love. And I didn't take advantage as much as I was close enough to go. And I really, like, he impacted me a lot once I'd already moved. Now I'm in Miami. So anytime I'm back in LA, that's somewhere where, I mean, the vibes at that place are just next level.
I can't wait to go, man. I can't wait to, like, just see it, man. I can't wait. It's Absolutely. Like my one of my dreams.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's so many cool, just all of us. And it's just another example of just the same awesome energy that flows to and through all of us and is who all of us truly are shown in examples like, Michael Beckwith, who is just, and that's the best way to help anybody really, is to live it, to be an example of that light and what he likes to say, luminosity, flowing out of us.
Yeah.
That's people around you. You inspire people and uplift people. And, that's the best way for any of us to attract to us what we want as well. So this is cool. Anything you want to share with the audience? I'm going to check the questions there in a second, see if anybody has any questions. If you guys are watching this live, share any questions that you have for me or for Ben. Anything that that you want to share with the audience, I'm going to leave it open to you. But this has been a fun conversation. For me, I just always like to make sure that anything that is inspired, I never want the podcast to end until the guest has shared everything that they want to flow out the audience, because that's the cool thing about these conversations, man. Somebody could discover this 10 years from now. Just like with the Oprah Michael Beckwith podcast, that was recorded 3 years ago, or 2017, and I didn't know. I just discovered it yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I listen to that all the time, man. Like, I listen to it repeatedly, like that one. Just because, like, you learn so much, man. You learn so much information. You gotta keep learning, man. Keep learning and keep. You got iron sharpens iron, man. So you continue to learn. You get to continue to grow. So, I mean, like, right now, a lot of people have been asking me what I've been up to. I'm looking forward to getting back on set a lot more. To act more. That's like one of my favorite things to do. being on commercials and being able to be an actor. That's like natural for me. I mean, I still got growing pains. I still got to get better. But that's like something I'm looking forward to, and I'm studying 2 languages right now.
Wow.
So it's hard. I mean, it's a different,
Which
challenge.
languages?
Portuguese and Espanol.
Okay, that's so valuable. I live in Miami. It'd be nice to speak Spanish down here.
Hey, bro, you in a most populated place.
I know.
In the United States.
and you see, you have all of us. This is a great example. All of us can learn language to do anything. We just have to put our attention and our focus on it, long enough to do it. So what threw me off with language, and because I have like the Rosetta Stone, and I know I could learn Spanish, and I've just been honest with myself, and it hasn't been a strong enough desire to actually put the focus and the time and energy in. And what really, because I was like, but I still wanted to be able to communicate. So I've had this ask to the universe on how can I communicate easier with people that don't speak the language. Like I was in Hong Kong a couple of years ago, and most people speak English in Hong Kong, but the closer you get to China, nobody speaks English. They all speak Mandarin or Cantonese. And they are inventing something that I hope it comes out soon. Maybe you guys have heard me talk about this before, but that encouraged me that even if I didn't learn the language traditionally, I'd still be able to connect, which is really my ask. How can I help? How can I connect with people that don't speak my language? And so they're coming out with either, imagine those glasses you're wearing right now, Ben. Just like if you were watching a movie in Spanish, and how, some cars now you don't need to look at the actual miles per hour. It just shows in your peripheral vision. So imagine I'm speaking to you in Chinese right now, and it's just subtitling it for you in English, right in your peripheral. So we're still looking at each other, and I got some glasses or contacts also, and it's just subtitling it for me while you're talking. So we're kind of watching just a live movie.
Right.
That's
right. I would like that.
Yeah, because then you speak any language. So we'll have stuff like that soon, but it'll still be very impressive and useful because you can connect with people differently when, say they only speak Spanish, and then you'll be able to talk to them. You're going to be able to connect with people a lot differently. And Portuguese. So you're looking to spend some time in Brazil then. Brazil and, a lot of places speak Spanish. But that's cool. That's really cool.
Brazil, just because a lot of my people that support and people that want the merch, they live down there, so I have to make sure I have it. I'm able to communicate, I got to be able to go there one day and spend time with them. I would like to speak a motivational message in their language. That's like one of my goals. So if I could be able to do that, that would only open doors for, all of us, that because out of me and you and a couple other people tag on and make a tour and go to each city and city, we're able to, or a country too, we're able to spread our horizons a little bit. That'd be something I look forward to, bringing people on tour, taking people, motivational. You're very inspiring too. So, it'd be good to team up. That's how we could do more impact. The light is getting shared. We meet people, we spread in the message, in the story. You got a beautiful message, man, beautiful message. And I know that, you got a calling on your life to continue doing what you're doing too. I can feel that, as I talk to you. You got a big thing you about to do. I don't know what it is, but you about to do something. I just, that's what I feel right now. So I'm glad to be on this journey with you, man.
I appreciate that. And likewise, you're reflecting, me and you are reflecting each other right now. And I appreciate you saying that. And yes, I'm open for all and any collaborations with you and anyone out there that, if their intention is to impact and inspire, humanity, because for me, I just love when the light bulb comes on and, people, this again goes back to this. It's actually interesting. The first time I ever heard it said this way was from Reverend Beckwith. And as far as there's something, he said, there's something inside of, of us that when we see it in the world, we feel inside, we're like, I really want to see that, shift. There's, I want to see that change and whatever it is. And we're all different. We have different things. So I asked myself when he said that,
Yeah.
you know, because our purpose here is to live in joy and to create and to, you know, to grow and to help each other and just, you know, so, but he said there's a calling for us that we could feel it when we look out in the world and we want to see that change. And for me, it's always just been, once I discovered, because it helped me so much, know that I could be, do, and have anything, and that there was no special breed of human, that all of us could live this life that we wanted and create what we wanted to create. Then for me, it never felt right when I saw, you know, another person that the light bulb hadn't switched on for them yet. Because at one time the light bulb hadn't switched on for me. And I just know how much more fun and how much more confident you can be knowing that, like, I don't have to think about the words that are coming out right now. I'm just in a vibration and a frequency and an energy of wanting to make an impact and having fun, you know, talking to someone that I haven't gotten a chance to talk to before. And everything else just kind of goes from there, because I know that the thoughts that I'm thinking are going to be a match from the energy that I'm in. So, you know, you can't be happy or, you know, wanting to empower and have, you know, depressed, sad thoughts. Like, if I'm sad and depressed energy, then I can only have sad and depressed thoughts. I can't have happy, empowering thoughts, you know, so it goes both ways. So once you realize that, and you realize these things are popping into your mind and these synchronicities, like, you know, me and Ben just shared when it comes to everything that we share with the Michael Beckwith and all that stuff, that's not in our physical control. Like, we don't have to control, we don't control that. Like, that's just a response to the energy that we're in. Like, believe me, if my mood last night going to bed, if I was like worried about stuff or angry or whatever, I wouldn't have been thinking about, you know, Googling Michael Beckwith podcasts. I would have, you know, who knows what I would have been thinking about or what I've been doing. So it's just knowing that is, for me, I just love to be able to share that. And if the light bulb, you know, turns on for any of you out there listening from any of these conversations, please let me know, let Ben know, let anybody that as a guest that, you know, says anything that has impacted you know. And I don't say this enough, but that is really, really, really appreciated, because it makes me so happy. And then I get to know who you are, if I don't already, and then root for you, because I know for anybody out there listening, once the light bulb is on, you can't turn it off. There's no turning it off. So once you become aware of any of this stuff, now you can't become unaware. So, you know, I just, let me know, you know, from now until forever, if there's ever anything that you're like, ooh, I'm excited about this. I know that I can be, do, and have and create anything that I desire. So then I could tag you, I could make sure I'm following you, and I could root for you, and we can collaborate or do anything that can help each other. No, man, I appreciate you, Ben. This has been an awesome conversation. You're a cool human being, man. And acting, everything you decide to put your focus on, I mean, your energy is coming with you, so it's going to be awesome, and it'll turn out to be.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing that you said that I like?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you said three things that you said. Well, I liked everything you said, but the three things that stuck out. You said the word alignment and frequency, and then you said I forget the other one you said. Well, we can start with those two. You said alignment and frequency. Those two words I've been studying a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. I mean, and shifting my focus to understand that word. Those two words are important, because you got to be. They're very similar words too. If you like look at it, like alignment and frequency, you got to be in frequency to be on this kind of call that we're on, and you got to be in alignment with the frequency that to make this type of call we're doing, or podcast interview we're doing. Just because like you didn't know that last night, you know, I was like feeling some type of way too. You know what I mean? I could have been coming to this conversation, man, I don't really want to do it. You know, why me? You know, complaining. I said, no, you can't have that type of attitude. And you said something that, you said energy. You said energy goes where the flow goes. Energy goes where the direction goes. Michael Beckwith shared that. I got it from him, or you learned it from him, or whatever. But I heard it before, so I commend you, bro. You're doing your thing.
Absolutely. You too.
I know you take time and study, and you know you're appreciative of, you know, this I don't even know what to call it. There's no name for it, but this new it's a new spiritual, I don't know what to call it, but you might have a name for it. But this is a whole new it's not even a job. This is your purpose. I think something like that. You're just doing your purpose.
Absolutely.
Are you on your way to doing your purpose?
it's just ongoing as long as I'm here. And I appreciate you saying all that. And what you just highlighted is how you started when we started talking about you can only commune, like when you mentioned the example from the podcast of, I think it's oil and water, and you can only commune with like, stuff. That's what we're doing right now. We're like frequency, we're aligned, and we have the intention to make an impact. And that's how we can commune. And for everybody out there, the only thing that any of us can control individually is what frequency and alignment that we bring to this moment right now. We can't choose that for anyone else. And the good news for all of us is that makes life much simpler, because if we just choose to, not make ourselves wrong, because we're human. So there's going to be times where, we're going to be sad or, worried about something, or frustrated or anxious. The key is just to be really aware that this is what's happening. And now once you're aware of it and you can say, okay, I'm being really anxious about this right now. Now you have a choice. And from that moment, what you choose is totally up to you. And I'm not here to tell you what to choose. Like, choose whatever you choose. If you choose to continue being anxious and going down that road, you could feel worse and worse and worse. You could feel powerless and depressed. We've all been there. But at least you're doing it on purpose. So then once you say, okay, everything has, even though I don't see how this situation is going to work out, I don't have the exact way that it's going to, to work out right now. But every other situation that I've ever been in my life has worked out. And, I know that I'll get an idea that will, take me in the direction that I need to go. So let me just get back to just being at peace, because I don't like my spirit feeling so heavy, feeling so anxious. Like physically now I'm starting to feel, not well. That's just something that we can be aware of. And then once we can get back to that peace, then that's when all of a sudden we have an idea pop into our mind that before then we weren't able to hear it, and once we have that idea, we're like, oh, that's a good idea. So now you have, I call that like a little spark, that's a little, it sparks in us. And then if we put some attention, which you just, highlighted again, where our attention goes, energy flows. We put some attention on that spark. Now we're flowing energy at it. And now that spark can turn into a flame, and you could just be on fire, like literally, going towards everything that we want to, not literally be on fire. That analogy is kind of tough. I love that analogy, but just what's going on in Australia. Like every time I say the analogy now, I think about them out there, and I send a blessing out to Australia out there, because they're going through it. That's my favorite.
As you were saying that example, same thing.
For sure. I've used that example many times since that has been going on out there, and I send a blessing out every time I say it, because they pop into my mind every time, and I'm sending love from that frequency, which definitely will get to where it needs to get. Everything is. I saw a girl post on Instagram, which I love, about the fires, and she was just affirming that everything is working out. Everything is working out in best case scenario, like, or something along those lines. Like, even though things in life, they look, really, terrible as they're happening, everything is working out in the best way that it can work out. We'll be able to go forward, and, it's bringing people together. There's always things that we can look at glass half full, whenever there's a challenge going on, and it inspires us to go in the direction that we want to go from there. So, no, that's awesome. And I appreciate you saying all that. And, this is fun. I'm encouraging everybody out there to definitely, if you were watching this live and you missed anything from Ben's parts, rewind and listen to those. He shared some good stuff, and we've been flowing this whole time. So if you're tuning on here at the end, watch this whole thing when it comes out. But man, it's awesome, and I'm happy to know you now, and definitely excited to connect and collaborate with you more as time goes in any way that we can, for sure. On Twitch,
I got one more thing.
Yeah, go for
it. This might help someone. A lot of people ask about my acting. How did I get in the SAG after group? My SAG part. I got it. The first principal gig I got was on Samantha Bee's Full Frontal. I don't know if you ever heard of that show. The show Full Frontal.
Okay.
It's on TBS, I think, but it was with Samantha Bee. I got my first voucher there. The story behind that is so crazy. You know what I mean? Empire called me, and they called me to get on to be on set to do a mission too, and I turned it down because one, I already had something obligated. You know, I don't like being in the middle, putting two people in the middle of business. You don't want to you don't want to mess up both sides. You know, so I'd rather tell them thank you. You know, I get back to it. You know what I'm saying? So eventually though, we went to Cleveland. I was in Michigan. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Manistee, Michigan. We was up in Michigan, me and my boy John. So I was like, he was mad that I didn't take Empire. You know, he's like, man, that's the biggest show in the world. You gotta go to, like, we gotta go. I was like, bro, I just can't. You know what I mean? I just can't do that. You know, I can't like tell these other people no. Like, I already had obligation. I was like, bro, I'm gonna get you on set though. He was like, all right, bet. You know, so I was like, all right, we drove back to Ohio, and we get to Cleveland, and he wasn't supposed to be on set. You know, he was just, I don't know. God told me to like just bring him. Just come on, just act like you're supposed to be here. And when they handed us a voucher, it said, union, production. So when I saw that, that was my first voucher, and I was crying because like so hard for that goal to happen, and it finally like materialized. I was thinking about that for a year, like a year straight. I was only active for 1 year. Next year, I got my first one, and then a couple months later, I ended up getting opportunity on Empire to do stunts, for Empire, and that allowed me to get my first principal, card, SAG principal role, and then it led me to so many more things. I was just on a hunt to be one of the best I could be. At that time, I had a different goal. My goal was to be in the union. So now my focus has shifted. Now a new goal is to become one of the best actors I become in the world. That's one of my goals now, and with the acting. So you got to take a risk, man. You got to believe in yourself. You know what I mean? I drove a lot of miles on my cars to get, to make it happen. You know what I mean? People think that, oh, you can just go on set and be there and, oh, it's going to work out. No, you got to think about it in your mind. You got to hold the vision. You know what I mean? You got to hold that thought in your mind, and you got to create it. You create it in your mind before it even happens. You said something about that earlier, did you not?
Absolutely. And I love that the action steps are in alignment with that vision as well, because you're like, you just mentioned driving a lot of miles, it's like, if I have this vision, then I'm going to do what I need to do to see this vision out. So I love that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys, so a lot of people can understand like how I'm, how it happened for me. A lot of people always ask me that, so I'm sure that people want to know more. So that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. And I drove a lot to Chicago and New York, a lot, a lot.
Yeah, for you guys listening in other countries, these aren't like cities that are like next door to each other or anything. This is not like driving across town.
No. You want to know what's funny? Where I live at, bro, I'm 6 hours from New York, and I'm 6 hours from Chicago.
I would have thought it was further than that. So that's interesting right in the middle. That's really interesting. Yeah, all those states are.
I'm right in the middle.
Really interesting. So yeah, 6 hours the one way, 6 hours the other way. So yeah, that's a good drive for sure. Half a day.
For sure. So I just wanted to share that so people would know, a motivational story. Just keep going.
Absolutely. I love that. No, it's such a great example, for any of us that have, a vision, and it's anything that you can think of and that gets you excited. Same thing we've been talking about the whole episode. Just, be excited to flow energy and attention in that direction, and don't worry about how it's going to happen or when or who you need to meet, or, as we start trying to figure all this stuff out, it just makes us anxious, because anything that out there has happened for us in our life that we could say has been really, an awesome experience, or just like what Ben just described. He couldn't predict all that stuff that he described like that. There's no way to predict all the things that will happen on our journey. So since we've never been able to predict any of the things up until now, why start now? It's just, let it be an adventure. Let it be a fun movie. You're the star, and the movie will will turn out how you like it to turn out, as long as you just believe that it will and just keep going in the direction that you feel is best to go in right now. So that's awesome.
It led me to talk to you today. Me going through everything I went through, it led me to talk to you to this day, like this day of my life. So I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely. Me too. And I know the audience is appreciative of you also. And definitely connect with Ben on social media. He's doing a great job on Instagram, and has his clothing line page, as well as his personal page, where he's got a big following there and giving a lot of inspiration. So definitely connect with Ben there, and you can see everything that he's doing and creating. And I love that goal that you have as far as being one of the biggest actors in the world. That's great, because now it's just I'll be able to be like, I had him on the podcast when he was affirming that goal, and and now look where he's at. Great example,
right.
People. So I love when people affirm things like that, because now you have the knowing that you can go in that direction and do all the other stuff that you're doing too, and awesome journey. And you're a younger guy. Like I feel like I'm older than you. You're not. What are you in your? You can't be early 30s at the most, but maybe late 20s. Or where are you at?
27.
Okay. Yep.
You hear me?
So,
all right.
Yep. I got you. 27. That was the range that I thought you in. Wise beyond your years for sure. You could tell you've lived some life and experienced some things. So that's awesome.
Yeah. I want to say one more thing, man. Thank you for having this podcast. Thank you for being a great person that you are. Thank you for doing what you do. You're doing a great job. And you're inspiring people through your platform. And I'm just thankful that you allowed me to come on your show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. And it's like I said, it's a conversation I would have wanted to have with you anyway. And it's just, I'm so appreciative that we could record it and share it so that it could help people at the same time. So thank you everybody out there for listening in with us and participating with us. And if you have any questions for me or Ben, if you didn't catch the live, just let me know. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Enlightened Conversations. Definitely continue to share these episodes, and you'll make an impact on other people as you do. Really appreciate you for helping us spread the love and light out there. And definitely subscribe if you're not already. And really appreciate you guys out there and sending positive vibes. Happy New Year. I've decided, Ben, I'm going to share that. I'm going to say that to people all year. Because I don't know when the cutoff date is for that. If I could say Happy New Year on the 1st and the 2nd, then I can say it today as well. So Happy New Year to you guys. Rooting for all of you and sending positive vibes to you all. Thank you, Ben, for coming on and sharing your light with the audience. And really appreciate you. And we'll talk to everybody out there soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. That was fun, man. That was a good conversation.